to the 2019 National Honor Society induction ceremony. We will begin this evening with the singing of our national anthem by Caroline Borio and Colin Mash.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Today we had an assembly during school called Rachel's Challenge, where we were told the story of Rachel Joy Scott, a victim of the Columbine shooting. She dedicated her life to kindness and reminds us all that one person can truly make a difference. We'd like to dedicate this song to all of the Rachels in the world. Here's You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear?
Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found.
So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
You will be found.
There's a place where you don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
If you won't say the word,
From across the silence, your voice is heard. reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking and all is new. All is new.
It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. You are not alone.
You are not alone. You are not alone.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. You are not. You are not. You are not alone. You are not alone. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground.
You will be found.
So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
And now introducing our principal, Dr. Bacani.
Thank you, Colin and Caroline. Let's give them a big round of applause. Just a tremendous job setting the tone for a great performance. I know there was actually a Rachel's Challenge parent meeting today, this session. I know we thank you for being here, recognizing our students. It was an emotional day for our students and staff with the presentations and our Ford Club. And that's on behalf of Rachel and the legacy that she left. So welcome parents, guardians, family members for being here this evening. Jason McConaughey, Principal, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. I'm honored to open this evening's event. On behalf of Dr. Christian, Superintendent, and the School Board of Directors, I'd like to congratulate all of our students here in front of us this evening on such an impressive accomplishment. I look around the room, it's the who's who of academics, student athletes, leaders, service, you name it. Obviously the best of the best. So parents, congratulations on your end as well. Quite impressive. As a school, we pride ourselves in being a school of excellence. Recently honored our AP scholars, many in this room right here, our national merit students, again, many in front of us at this moment, this evening, and we're humbled by the extracurricular accomplishments by all of our students here at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. The National Honor Society has an expectation of overall excellence as evidenced by 4 key pillars: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. This group of National Honor Society students have met all the standards of academic achievement, rendered service within our schools and our local elementary schools, community, and emerged as leaders in a variety of settings. What really sets this group apart is their overall character. Paralleling the terrific rendition by Colin and Caroline, this morning we had the pleasure of facilitating, as I mentioned, the Rachel's Challenge presentation for our students and staff. Rachel, prior to her unfortunate death in 1999, set to create a legacy of kindness and compassion and aimed for students to start a chain reaction. She said, quote, "I have this theory that if one person will go out of their way to show compassion and kindness, then it will start a chain reaction." Students, you've already started your own chain reaction with how you live your lives every day and how you positively interact with one another and by showing amazing character each and every day. You wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. Don't forget this as you continue your journey here at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School and when you move on to your next chapter and seniors in the room. I think you know that as well as anyone right now. Moving on to your next chapter. Honor Society members and inductees, we urge you to continue with this approach and seek to create a new chain reaction. Whether that's helping out a student new to our school, assisting a peer preparing for an upcoming exam, inspiring our local elementary students who look up to you, or simply by making someone's day by demonstrating an act of kindness. Each of you have strong character and the ability to keep this chain reaction alive and leave a lasting legacy in our school and our community. With that being said, we, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School, are confident that all the National Honor Society students in front of us will be highly successful and contributing members of this prestigious organization and will continue to demonstrate excellence in the areas of service, leadership, scholarship, and as we discussed, character. Congratulations to all of you. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our students. Thank you for your support, parents, and at this time, we want to call up Mr. Aaron Goldstein, treasurer of our NHS, who will then introduce our guest speaker. Aaron.
Good evening. I would like to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Anthony Stover. Mr. Stover graduated from Saddleback College in 1984. He then served in the United States Marine Corps as an air traffic controller from 1978 to 1988. He began working at the Ronald McDonald House in 1999 and is currently their community relations manager. Here, he works to plan special, fun events for the children in the house in order to put a smile on their face. Furthermore, he's currently a board member for the Public Citizens for Children and Youth and was formerly a board member for the Support Center for Child Advocacy and the board president for the Association of Independence Growth. Mr. Stover has dedicated his career to helping others, especially young people, which is demonstrated through his service in the Marines, passion for the Ronald McDonald House, and his several board memberships for youth advocacy groups. We are thrilled to have him here to speak tonight, so let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Anthony Stover.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Anthony Stover. I'm the Community Relations Manager with the Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House, and I am honored to be here and celebrating your academic excellence and being inducted to the new members of the National Honor Society, as well as existing members. Where do I start? I've been with the Ronald McDonald House now for 21 years, and I always like to share that I feel as though that I have the greatest job in the world. And I say that because when I'm having a bad day and things aren't going Anthony's way, every day that I go to work and I walk in those doors, any of those families of seriously ill children that we serve at the Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House would gladly trade for my bad day for a healthy child. And that keeps me centered, it keeps me grounded, and again, it lets me know I'm the luckiest guy around. The Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House started here in Philadelphia in 1974. It was the Philadelphia Eagles had a linebacker. His name was Fred Hill. And Fred had a daughter, her name was Kim. She was 2 years old, and she got diagnosed with leukemia. And as Kim and her family were going back and forth to Children's Hospital, they saw how families were sleeping on the floor and had no place to go. And Mr. Hill came back to the Eagles and said, you know, we have to do something here. What can we do to make a difference? At that time, the owner of the Eagles was a gentleman by the name of Leonard Toes, and there was a general manager by the name of Jimmy Murray. And they told Mr. Hill that, yeah, we'll do whatever we can. And the first thing they did was they did the fly for leukemia. Well, then two other people got involved. And the first person was an amazing woman. Her name was Dr. Audrey Evans. And Dr. Evans was the chief oncologist at Children's Hospital back in 1974. She was way ahead of her time. She was the only woman in that position. And she knew the value of helping the whole family, because if you added value to the whole family, you added value to that seriously ill child. They say if you have a seriously ill child, you have a seriously ill family. And then the second entity got involved, and that was McDonald's. And McDonald's said, we want to help, and what we'll do is we'll give you the proceeds from our Shamrock Shakes. Those are those green shakes that come out in March. And we'll also buy you a house, but the only thing that we ask is that you call it the Ronald McDonald House. And Dr. Evans said, well, if you're going to buy me a house, you can call it whatever you like. And the first house, again, opened October 15th. We just celebrated our 45th birthday at 40th and Walnut. And if we fast forward to today, ladies and gentlemen, there are now 388 Ronald McDonald houses in 43 different countries around the world. And and again, it all started here in Philly. Some of the things that we do, there's three things that happens when you're dealing with a seriously ill child. The first thing, that it's very taxing on the family. Divorce rates go up about 30 to 40%. The second thing is if there's siblings involved, the siblings kind of feel left out because all your attention is going towards that seriously ill child, as well as it should be. And then the third thing, when you have a seriously ill child, you're going to be by their side 24/7. And if you're by their side 24/7, you're not able to go to work. And for most of us, that causes financial challenges. And at the Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House, we address all three of those. One, we have social workers on staff that work with the social workers at our hospitals with the families during this time that none of us should ever have to experience. Second, in regards to siblings, when siblings check into the house, they get a new toy. When they check out, they get a new toy. When they're walking by the reception area, depending on who's sitting there, they're going to get a new toy. Everything that goes on in the city, we make available to the siblings, whether it's the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Please Touch Museum, the zoo. If Taylor Swift is coming to town, we're getting them to the concert. Every evening we have something going on, whether it's dog therapy, music therapy, art therapy. And kids get to be kids again and they don't want to leave. And then the third thing is because of friends like Plymouth Whitemarsh High School, we have funds set aside to where we can help a family pay a mortgage, get an airline ticket, get a car fixed, whatever that financial challenge may be. Every night of the week, 365 days a year, we provide dinner for the families. And on the weekends, we do breakfast, which I understand you're coming in this Sunday. Thank you very much. And during the families have different appointments during the day, so what we do is we provide grab bags with drinks and sandwiches and sodas so they can take over to the hospital. Now, our feeling is that you have to live 25 miles outside of the Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House in order to stay there, because we feel as though if you live within 25 miles, you can find get back and forth. For the families, if they can afford it, we charge $15 a night. And if they can't afford it, we charge nothing at all. We have never turned a family away because of their inability to pay. And we are very fortunate here in Philadelphia. It's like a mecca for pediatric care. We've got Children's Hospital, which is the best in the world. We have Wills Eye. We have the Shriners Orthopedic Hospital, which is an amazing hospital for children, where they don't take insurance. And whenever there's a natural disaster in the world, we see those children. And they do prosthetic legs and arms and to get little boys throwing footballs again and little girls dancing again, or vice versa. And then we also have St. Christopher's Hospital for children. So the world comes to Philadelphia for their pediatric care. And that's where the Ronald McDonald House comes in. Now, for our local families that don't live within that 25-mile radius, we have at Children's Hospital, St. Christopher's Hospital, and as well as the Seashore House, which is on CHOPS campus, an oncology floor and a cardiac floor. And this is for families that we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. They can entertain guests, they can do their laundry, they can do computer work, there's a coffee station, and all that's 100% free. 10 years ago, we built the second house on the campus of St. Christopher's Hospital for Children that also serves Shriners. And then another thing that we do is every August, it's the second week in August, and we've been doing it for 35 years, and this is the greatest week in my life. We take 250 children with cancer that are still active in their chemo treatment up to the Poconos for a week of camp. And these kids, they get up to camp, and they're not concerned about their loss of hair, their deformity from cancer, their growth stunt, or anything. They're not worried about being stared at, they're not worried about being teased, and they're not worried about being bullied. They come up to camp, and they do everything from the polar bear swim every morning, to zip lining, roasting s'mores, talent shows, and these kids are really, really amazing. They know they have cancer, and they know what cancer does. Because every Tuesday at camp, we go down to the lake up at Lake Wallapaw in the Poconos, and we have a memorial for the campers from the previous year that didn't make it. And on Saturday, when the buses from CHOP come back to take the kids back home, you know, we're all crying, and but it's tears of joy, and we're counting down to next year's camp. And one thing I didn't mention, what we do is we also take the doctors, the nurses, the psychotherapists, the pharmacists, the social workers from CHOP up to camp with us. So at night, when the kids are coming to get their chemo treatment, we're high-fiving, we're dancing, and we're celebrating. And it's just an amazing experience. You know, we sleep in bunks, so the accommodations are horrible, the food stinks, but it's the greatest week of my life. And our counselors range from 18 to 103, so everybody can get involved. What I'd like to do at this time is show a video a little bit about the Ronald McDonald House, and you'll hear from a couple of our families. And then after the video, we can ask some questions.
Hey guys, we're the Pryor family. We're from Foley, Alabama.
My name is Mike Callahan, and I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia.
I'm Emily Callahan, also from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Hi, my name is Rose. I'm from King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. This is my 3rd summer here at RMC.
Teddy was first diagnosed at 4 months old, and here you are with your 4.5-month-old child and your new dad. You've never had a kid before, and you're just thinking, hey, something's not right, but who knows what it is? It's some virus, it's something like this. We just know something's off. And here you are thinking, I'm about to go home today, and we're gonna just continue life as normal. And the next thing you know, a doctor comes in and says, I think your child has leukemia. And then from there, everything changes.
In late January, he started to tell us that his leg was hurting. It just got worse over the course of about 9 days. And on the 9th day, he stopped walking altogether. So the next day, the pediatrician called to see how he was doing. He said he's not walking. So he went into the University of Virginia Medical Center. So they sent him for an MRI through the emergency room, and that MRI went much longer than we thought it was going to go. And the doctor came in and said, we talked to you, and they said that it's bad news that he has cancer. Moment, you just don't forget. And it was, you know, just, it was like, you know, I don't remember anything else I heard for, I don't know, it was like a couple weeks of just shock.
I had a brain tumor, which has also caused me to lose my sight. It's been very traumatic, and it's something that's hard to recover from. And in a lot of ways, I was in a very dark place after I got my diagnosis.
Before, when I would see kids in the hospital or see kids out here, it's you saw them as sick, and now I see the families and the kids and the families here at Ronald McDonald House, and you don't just see a sick kid, you see that kid who also just has normal hopes and dreams and wants to, just go back to school and do everything like everybody else.
Everything we thought we were building, everything we thought we were doing as a family, and our careers and our home life, and all of that had been uprooted. But it didn't matter, because our primary objective at that point is we have to save our child's life. It really is a huge blessing to be able to come here and then to have an organization like Ronald McDonald House to just meet us where we're at, because we didn't have anywhere to live.
Cancer just keeps taking and taking and taking and taking away things for Jack and for our whole family. And so this place, Ronald McDonald House, has been one of the most important supports that we've had.
When you come here, you have to accept this is what happened. But once you get here, you learn that how easy it is to accept it, because it's not the end of the world. and there's recovery, and there's lots of people who have, and that you don't have to let this define you, and you don't have to let cancer rule your life the way I was letting it.
It would be a lot more strain on our family if we didn't have the Ronald McDonald House. Basically everything we need is provided here at no cost to us. Otherwise, we would be looking at paying for housing, paying for food, paying for everything basically.
Before I lost my sight, I loved to draw and do different types of art things. And it wasn't until coming here to camp that I actually got into the outlet of music. I lost drawing, which was such a big part of me, but because I came here, I got a new love.
The most impactful thing when we got here was how much the rooms felt like home. We were able to come in and literally just make the place our home for 3 months. We were able to come in and say, this is our new place, this is our new bed and our new TV and our couch, and where we can just be comfortable and live life, and it doesn't feel like we're living in a hospital room or a hotel room.
The Ronald McDonald House staff has really thought about all the things a family needs. It's not just a place to sleep, it's not just food and meals, it's also activities for the kids, socialization, playtime, the arts and crafts, the pets that come in. It really gives the parents a little bit of a breather and ability to relax.
The thing about cancer is it really labels you, and it leaves you labeling yourself. But the thing is, when you get to this camp, no one labels you. You're not the kid who had cancer, or the bald kid, or whatever other people might think. And you're never being pitied. People are never like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Because we all are sorry it happened to all of us, but there's nothing we can do to prevent it. But here, we're able to accept it and talk about it and voice our feelings and have people understand.
The volunteers are amazing. There are people that we connected with as soon as we got here. I mean, some of these people are just so willing to just go out of their way to accommodate us as a family.
I love the counselors here. It has been amazing to meet all these different people, because really everyone wants you to have a good time. Everyone wants to get to know you, wants to make this 1 week in the year the best week possible.
I had no idea what the Ronald McDonald House was until we needed it. I heard about it my entire life. Heard about Shamrock Shakes, heard about the nonprofit, but I didn't understand the magnitude of that until I was on the receiving end. And so as our family benefiting from this and seeing the value and the tangible nature of what the Ronald McDonald House provides to families who are in need, I don't know how as a father, on behalf of my family, I could champion worrying about my son's life and how we're going to continue to move towards his healing, and also focus on how am I going to pay the bills and find a place for us to live at the same time. And so the one thing that the Ronald McDonald House does for us is it pulls that off of our plate completely, where we can, all of our eggs in the basket of, we've got to take care of our son, take care of our family, and come out of this whole and healthy all the way around. And the Ronald McDonald House has helped to do that.
It's really nice to know that there's so many people who always have your back. There are people who care so much to allow us to come here. And thank you for allowing me the opportunity to get part of my personality back that cancer had really taken away. I always associate fight song with anything to do with sickness.
Right.
Because fight songs. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm a right song. My power's turned on, starting right now. I'll be strong, and I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me.
there were two things I left out of it when I was looking at the video. The first thing is that when we take the kids up to camp, we also take their siblings too, so their siblings can see how it is with other siblings that are living with seriously ill children. Also too, I shared with you earlier about Dr. Audrey Evans, our co-founder. Dr. Audrey Evans is now 96 years old, and last week she was at our birthday party celebrating with us, and she's just an amazing woman. At 96, she still entertains residents at her home in Rittenhouse Square. She started a school in North Philadelphia called the St. James School. It's in a very impoverished area where the kids go to school 10 hours a day. They do double math, double science, double English. They get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they have a 100% graduation rate and go into college. So just an amazing woman. Again, I would like to give a heartfelt thank you on behalf of the families that we serve at the Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House for allowing me to just share a minute with you our mission of creating a community of comfort and hope to families of seriously ill children. Thank you. Joanne said I can take a couple questions if anybody has any questions. Well, I will look forward to seeing you at the house, and I gave some volunteer material to all the parents that are in the room. I always say you can't keep it unless you give it back. And there's nothing cooler than kids helping kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stover. We appreciate your time coming here this evening and your inspiring message. I think we've all gotten a lot of inspiration today in many different ways, and hopefully we can all see the benefit of all of the volunteering that you do, not only for those that you work with, but for yourself and making you a better person. So we appreciate the inspiring message. Thank you so much. We are going to start. Each student that you see here tonight has demonstrated his or her high school career leadership in and out of the classroom, an enthusiasm for scholarship, a desire to render service, and high standards of honesty, reliability, and respect for others. The National Honor Society officers will now describe each of those qualities and light a candle to represent each one. Our president, Sidney Varslow, will speak with you first about scholarship.
Scholarship is a commitment to learning. You have all seen these students dedicate countless hours to their studies as their high school careers have progressed. Every student present tonight has maintained a laudable GPA of 3.75 or higher, so tonight we recognize these students and their lasting quest for knowledge. Through diligence and effort, they have proven their commitment to continually expand their world through their opportunities and inherent in scholarship. The candle that is about to be lit represents the eternal light of knowledge and will be used to light the 4 candles which represent scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Now, one of our vice presidents, Cade Mismer, will speak about service.
Thank you, Sydney. Each and every student that sits before me tonight has dedicated his or herself to some type of service. Service, regardless of the type, consistently demonstrates laudable characteristics such as dedication, selflessness, and compassion. The National Honor Society seeks members who are willing to commit themselves to service, often not rewarded by anything but the personal satisfaction of, wow, I did something good today. In September, the National Honor Society celebrated Lemon Month, a month-long fundraiser that raised money for pediatric cancer research through Alex's Lemonade Stand. This year, as you've just heard, the National Honor Society is also getting more involved with the Ronald McDonald House. Yet, service does not need a brand name to be meaningful. Members of the National Honor Society also have the chance to volunteer their time and efforts at local events at elementary schools, at community events such as Township Day, and at local organizations like the Laura House and the William James Library. Service is an irreplaceable part of the National Honor Society. Each and every student in this room today has and will continue to make a difference in the nearby community, making an invaluable impact on those that need it most. Now, my co-vice president, Jordan Goldring, will share with you some thoughts on leadership.
Thank you, Cade. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. By taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. Sometimes the price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others and the whole. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a group, they are not as effective without the guidance of a wise leader. In our NHS chapter, the officers and members lead together. Leadership is a vital part of the success of any unit, and each student you see here tonight has displayed exemplary leadership in our unit, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. Next, Carly Green, our secretary, will speak about character.
Thank you, Jordan. Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. Acts of character help one to gain self-respect and to respect others. The force of character guides one to success in life and, when developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action and daily striving to make the right choices. The National Honor Society students are people of character who demonstrate such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity. Each member will now participate in lighting a candle to represent their commitment to these 4 principles. Thank you, Carly. I'd like to ask all of my peers to rise and turn to your right so nobody's hair gets burned, okay? Turn towards mom and dad, give them a big smile. And if you pick up your programs, you'll see that the pledge is on the second to last page. I'm going to ask you to recite it with me. Okay. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school, and I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. You may blow out your candle now, and turn back around so we do a full circle. You may now be seated. At this time, new members will come forward to accept your certificate. I'd like to ask the audience to hold your applause until after all of the names are called.
Justin Adler, Audrey Chin, Adam Denofa, Matthew Dolan, Kayla Heinzer, Natalie Kamenecki, Leanne Koo, Samyam Korola, Kyrie Norris, Kaylin Peters, Noah Shubin, Patrick Wainwright. Lindsay Berman, Sophie Borslow, Victoria Brock, Benjamin Carr, Brianna Cassidy, Evan Chan, Emily Cohen, Gabrielle Cooper, Ryan Cassia, Eric Denofa, Julia Diorio, Mark Epstein, Brock Etzel, Sarah Fabi, Catherine Fitzpatrick, Jacob Jinnison, Taylor Goodman, Dylan Gunaratna, Jordan Green, David Harris, Zoe Hong, Lillian Kasman, Caroline Kay, Leah Kay, Timothy Kim, Victor Kowalski, Madison Keurig, Olivia Lakoff, Natalie Lanny, Zachary Lefkowitz, Mackenzie Lazinski, Grace Lynch, Thomas Manley, Delaney McCann, Isabella McNew,
Malin McWilliams, Abby Menechi, Jack Mishkin, Kaylee Mismer, Alexander Myers, Catherine O'Neill, Hannah Park, Nicholas Professori, Jillian Kiris, Carly Rosenberger, Aaron Reuter, Mia Ruggiero, Emma Sandberg, Ava Schreiber, Jack Svita, Kevin Shee, Caleb Silverman, Devin Skiles, Marissa Sloan, Elizaveta Somalia, Sarah Snyder, Adelaide Stanley, Noah Stern, Dean Suchland, Michelle Sutandar, Danielle Simnosky, Alexander Spurka, Charlie Tullio, Arya Venkat, Allison Whiteman, Emily Wilkinson, Logan Wright, Baron Zarzozo, Alexandra Zolty. Sorry about that, Amy. Please join me in welcoming our newest members of National Honor Society. Now at this time, we would like to acknowledge our returning senior members. Senior members, please stand. Now, Ms. Pinner, our chapter advisor, will present some brief closing remarks.
Well done. All right, Danny, sing. So before we close for the evening, Ms. Lynch and I would like to acknowledge the NHS officers. Tonight's program could not have been done without their hard work. Is Sydney, Cade, Jordan, Aaron, Carly, and Tara. Thank you. We began this evening's ceremony with a beautiful rendition of You Will Be Found from the musical Dear Evan Hansen, sung by Colin and Caroline. And the song reminds us that each of us can positively affect so many lives through our words and through our deeds. NHS members, today we were introduced to another powerful message through Rachel's challenge. I know that Rachel's message resonates strongly in each of you. It's up to you to continue the message of love through your acts of service in your community. As you honor the lives of Rachel Scott and other victims of senseless violence, you can choose to send a powerful message and support and compassion through your actions. Replace senseless acts of violence with random acts of kindness. Find the time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in your lives. As you express your gratitude, always remember the highest appreciation is not simply to utter the words, but to live by them. Each of you do indeed live by your words. We've worked very closely with you inside and outside of school, and we know firsthand how awesome you are. You've made a difference in your world, and you continue to leave a strong impression on us, your family, your friends, your fellow community members, teachers, and administrators. We're so incredibly proud of you. We also know that behind each of these students stands a network of family, friends, and neighbors who have supported them. So we would like also to recognize these important people at this time. NHS members, how about a round of applause for the families? Thank you for all of your support. And we'd especially like to thank our keynote speaker, Mr. Anthony Stover, for his inspiring message. We have all undoubtedly benefited from hearing about your experiences and listening to your message of hope. Your gift of time to us is invaluable, and we greatly appreciate that. On behalf of the Plymouth Whitemarsh High School community, we'd like to present you with a token of our appreciation for coming here this evening. Aaron's going to come up and get that. We'd also like to present a check to the Ronald McDonald House. Thank you. In the spirit of living by our words, Ms. Lynch and 14 of our returning seniors look forward to volunteering their time this coming Sunday as guest chefs, cooking breakfast for the family staying at the Ronald McDonald House. Our PW family has also donated several Halloween costumes for the children that are staying there next week. Thank you very much again for all of your time. And lastly, we would like to thank our amazing pianist, Sam. I don't know where Sam is. Thank you, Sam, for the beautiful music she provided for us this evening. And Colin and Caroline for sharing their incredible singing talent with us. Can't go wrong having them up, any of them up here doing their stuff. We could mess up all we want. You can see these guys coming up in the fall production, the Colonial Players fall production of The Giver, November 11th, 14th, and 15th. Little plug for you guys there. Go out and see them, and I'm sure in the spring. Ms. Lynch and I would like to thank you all for coming here this evening to honor and celebrate these students. In a moment, the members of the National Honor Society will exit to the rear of the auditorium. Please join them for some light refreshments in the cafeteria. NHS members, if you would please rise and exit. Thank you, everybody.